This is Nurse Ellen. I specialize in hospice and palliative nursing, and I have a background in naturopathic medicine. I want to speak to several questions that I've gotten recently as you all are reaching out and sharing your stories with me, stories of being caregivers to generally your parents. Wow, this is such a challenging place to be for a lot of reasons. There are so many emotions, and I want to let you know that with all the families that I work with on a daily basis, every feeling, every frustration, every heartbreak, every success, every joy, all of those are being shared in a collective way for those of you on this journey with your parents and loved ones in their end of life, in their elderhood. So, I want to share with you something that I often return to professionally and as just a human being. That is counterintuitive. So, in hospice nursing, we have this saying that our patients have the right, so we're talking about a fundamental right to fall. That's why this is counterintuitive. As a nurse, you are trained to wash your hands, know the safe value levels of potassium, and under no circumstances let your patient fall. Okay, we don't want to allow our vulnerable patients to be in a situation where they get harmed. And yet, these are adults. These are human beings who deserve the respect of the wisdom that they have earned over the years, even if they are in a place where maybe mentally they don't have the same capacity that we would expect an adult to have. Maybe they're making choices with the way they walk around, or they step on ladders, or the things that they engage in that put them at risk for being hurt or harmed. This is so hard as a caregiver because, to speak frankly, if they get hurt, it's on you to step in and mitigate whatever damage might happen in this scenario. So you don't want your loved one to be hurt. You also don't want to be in the position where you have to then help them move through a broken hip, or being scratched up and banged, or even worse, maybe having more serious consequences of this kind of choice that your loved one is making. However, and this is the tough part, your loved one has the fundamental right to personhood. And unless they are completely incapacitated mentally, they get to make choices for themselves that you might completely disagree with on a lot of levels, and yet they still get to do it. I think this place is terribly uncomfortable for so many reasons, but to kind of speak to the essence of it, it means that you have to sit there and watch someone that you love and that you might even feel responsibility towards to engage in behavior and make decisions for themselves that could hurt them. And you can't really do anything about it. That is a place in the human condition, the human journey, that just like rips at your heart. Okay? It is sincerely, utterly, terribly uncomfortable to be in that place. I think it takes a great strength of character to be able to be in that place with anyone who is maybe making behaviors or they're using a form of rationale that doesn't really make terribly good sense. Okay? To be in that place with them, to love them in a radical way, and still let them fall. So this is a conversation we're going to keep having. There is no one answer here. I'm just handing this to you. This is something that kind of comes up in our meetings as we get frustrated and maybe sometimes overly invested in scenarios that we are working in. We remind ourselves that our patients are people. They have the right to make decisions for themselves, even if we disagree with them, even if we want to save them from those decisions. Really, what we're being called to do is to stand in that deeply uncomfortable place with them and love them. You can have boundaried love, okay? That's a conversation for another day. But being in that place of discomfort with them and allowing them to have their own journey, their own journey to the end of their life. That's the kind of stuff that poetry is written about, okay? So you are on a very powerfully difficult and yet character-defining journey with your parent at this time. So maybe just sit with that and see how you can be in that place with them. And we'll keep chatting, okay? Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking such good care of them. Take care of your heart, too.